أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون ألا إنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون. And when it is said to them, do not cause corruption on the earth, they say, we are but reformers. Unquestionably, it is they who are corrupters, but they perceive it not. And when it is said to them, believe as the people have believed, they say, should we believe as the foolish have believed? Unquestionably, it is they who are foolish, but they know it not. The universe is the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It works on the laws set by its Rabb. The same way, this earth is the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If dwellers of this earth break laws of Allah, then the very moment they are involved in fasad. In simple words, we can say that a person or a society who is not following laws of Allah is creating fasad, corruption, no matter how peaceful it looks for the time being. And every struggle to remove this fasad is islah, the reform. Even if this islah have some difficulty or hardship for the time being. Just like if someone has got some cancer cells in his body, and then even if he feels all fine for the time being, he is not all fine. And the medication or the surgery he might have to go through may be causing some difficulty and hardship, but this surgery is islah, the reform for him. Note the expression وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ, and when it is said to them. Here, the one who is saying is not being mentioned. So it's kind of a private conversation that someone close to them, who knows them well, who knows what they are showing and what they are doing, he tries to make them realize. So whenever this expression وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ is coming in these ayat, it gives us a hint that it is a private discussion. As in the open gatherings, these people are claiming Iman again and again. But in these private conversations, their actual thoughts are being unveiled. So, some sincere friend of theirs tells them not to create fasad, meaning stop behaving against the cause of Islam. They say, we are in fact only us. We are the reformers. We are the muslih. Actually, they are short sighted people. They do not see the bigger picture. They just want to make their lives easy, overlooking all their faults and behaviors, and all the evil existing in the society. And then they call this artificial ease, which they created for themselves by ignoring all the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Islah. We learn in the Quran about the state of these people. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ وَرَاءَ ظَهْرِهِ فَسَوْفَ يَدْعُو ثُبُورًا وَيَصْلَى سَعِيرًا إِنَّهُ كَانَ فِي أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. But as for he who is given his record behind his back, he will cry out for destruction and enter to burn in a blaze. Indeed, he had once been among his people in happiness. So, such people, they are not bothered about improving themselves. Like a person, he lies and he is thinking, I had to lie, as otherwise it would have been a problem. Apparently, he is running away from a difficulty which he could face for the time being, but actually he is running towards much bigger problem. But this he is not ready to be bothered about. We go through such situations almost in every step of our life. Like if one has to say his Fajr prayer and he will put an alarm to get up, disturbing his sleep, then that time sleeping is easier and getting up is like killing your rest. But what is fasad? Getting up or leaving namaz? Or while your loved one is being unjust, and you know that. Now, what is fasad? Standing with him on his injustice or telling him you are doing wrong? Yes, telling him can create some drift between the relations. But what will happen if we stand with others when they are wrong? Actually, this way we encourage them to do wrong by making it even more easier for them, as they have got our support now. So injustice will flourish more and more. We learn in Surah At-Tawbah, المنافقون والمنافقات بعضهم من بعض. The hypocrite men and hypocrite women are of one another. They enjoin what is wrong and forbid what is right, and close their hands. They have forgotten Allah, so He has forgotten them accordingly. Indeed, the hypocrites, it is they who are the defiantly disobedient. The next ayah says, "Ala innahum humul mufsiduna walakin la yash'urun." Unquestionably, it is they who are the corrupters, but they perceive it not. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us to be careful, as this kind of behavior is very commonly among the people and then in our own selves as well. Those who follow such behaviors are actually spreading corruption, but they do not even realize. The worst thing is that a person loses the realization of this wrong attitude, as then the chances of reforming are almost gone. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ النَّاسُ قَالُوا أَنُؤْمِنُ كَمَا آمَنَ السُّفَهَاءُ ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون. And when it is said to them, believe as the people have believed, they say, should we believe as the foolish have believed? Unquestionably, it is they who are foolish, but they know it not. Another characteristics of theirs is these people, although they have big claims of Iman, but sacrificing for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sacrificing to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a foolishness for them. As when again some sincere friends of theirs advise them to behave like the true believers. There they show their true selves as it is a private conversation. They think such believers to be the foolish ones. For them, living by Islam is foolishness. But why is it like that? As their main objective is not Akhirah, they live for the petty benefits of this world. And then, when it comes on giving up some benefits of this world for the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it seems to them as a great loss. So they want to be called a Muslim, but they do not want to live by Islam on the cost of their worldly benefits. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it clear for us that actually this behavior is a great foolishness, as it ends up in a total loss. In Surah Al-Hajj we learn, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ. And of the people is he who worships Allah on an edge. If he is touched by good, he is reassured by it. But if he is struck by a trial, he turns on his face on to the other direction. He has lost this world and the hereafter. That is what is manifest loss. So this behavior is like of picking and choosing in Islam. Do whatever suits you and leave what you find difficult. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it clear for us that this is not being a mu'min. Instead, it is a total loss. Note the expression kama amanan nas, like people believed. It does not say like Hazrat Abu Bakr or Hazrat Umar believed. So the excellent ones are not being mentioned. The general true believers are being mentioned. So we understand that it is not a huge and a very difficult task to be a true believer, that only a few excellent ones can achieve. In fact, many people can achieve it. So it's a shame if a person ends up as a loser. As we learn in the Quran, لِأَصْحَابِ الْيَمِينِ ثُلَّةٌ مِّنَ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَثُلَّةٌ مِّنَ الْآخِرِينَ. For the companions of the right hand, a goodly number from those of old and a goodly number from those of later times. So it means that many people from all the eras will end up, insha'Allah, in Jannah. So it's not an impossible target to achieve. In these ayat, we learn that living in accordance to the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Islah. Going against them is Fasad. Foolishness is in giving up obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the hypocrites, their thinking is working opposite. We all need to check our own behaviors in the light of these ayat. As we learn from ourselves, no one fears hypocrisy but a believer, and no one feels safe from hypocrisy but a hypocrite. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك